Hey guys, this is Tony from YouTube Drone Doctor. We're coming at you from Nevada. We are at the ghost town here in, I think it's Nelson, is that right there, bro? Bro, without any further ado, we don't even have to introduce this gentleman because most of you already recognize him. This is Romeo, DJI. You guys have all seen his images because if you're using the apps that DJI has given you for this great quad and also the Inspire, you've seen all his images. I want to ask you, Romeo, where do you see DJI going in the next year, 2 years, from where they're advancing with this P3 that's out right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, if we'll go back in time and look at the last 2 years, we have made major leaps, not only in the technology, in the software, but also in the way we're using this technology. It started off as, you know, the cool toy to have to get these amazing aerial shots, video, photography. It changed the way we looked at certain places. Now we're also seeing real business and life applications. So I really think that over the next 2 years, we will continue to see a growth, not only in the drone industry itself, but in the way we use technology. So that's the fun part. And I'm the Director of Education at DJI, and I really think we are only scratching the surface of the iceberg right now, because now we're seeing students and researchers use this technology, and they are coming up with new and innovative ways of incorporating this technology into their research and into their studies.
If you were to give any advice for somebody that's brand new to this wonderful hobby in this world of flying drones, what would be some of the tips that you could give them as they want to get introduced into this so that they don't make some of the common mistakes that most people make that are really completely new to this world?
Well, that's a very interesting topic, and I have some personal opinions on this, so maybe somebody may not agree with me, but here is in essence what I believe. There are two groups of people. There are the female customers and pilots, and there are the male customer and pilots. And the reason why I distinctly say that is the women, when they get a new machine, they actually read the manual.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so they, off the bat, have a leg forward. And the guys, me included, we take it out of the box, we put on all the things, and we go and fly right away. And maybe later we read up on certain things. So, in my opinion, first thing, I know it's not fun to read through a manual or watch a YouTube video when you could already be out there flying. But trust me, it does help you because you're learning along the way before you go up. Now, the other thing is, if you're a brand new pilot, my recommendation is go small. Start with a Phantom, for example. But also get like a $30 quadcopter you can fly indoors and fly in your living room. Get the feel of how it works. Because it translates right into a bigger machine, including like an Inspire.
Less mistakes.
Less mistakes.
Less costly mistakes.
Exactly. So that's my recommendation. And once you're outside, there are a few things you can do. Number one, familiarize yourself with the surrounding. Look up. Are there any power lines? Are there trees? Where are the buildings? In case something does go wrong, where could I safely put it down? Look for a bush, look for a tree. It's much easier to climb up a tree and retrieve it than if you crash in concrete.
Right.
So, if you familiarize yourself ahead of time with your terrain, the chances of success are automatically much bigger.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And you were also fortunate enough to do the this wonderful trip to Vietnam, and you were able to take the Inspire and also the Phantom 3, if I'm right.
Yeah, actually, that's
the actual one.
That's the actual one, and it's really dirty. I can't get it off. The heat and the humidity inside the cave really did a number on this machine. We did 2 trips. We did a first trip to do a survey trip to really see, is it even possible to do a live broadcast out of the world's largest cave, and what would it look like? And on the first trip, we only had the Inspire because one of the P3s got stuck in customs.
No.
So we flew the Inspire, and here's what I've learned, Tony. Flying in a small confined space so much easier than flying in the world's largest cave.
Really?
Yes, and you wouldn't think that. But here's the thing. If you fly 1,000 feet away, so you're inside this cave, so you're not going to hit an airplane, you're not going to hit anyone because there is nobody in there. But if you're 1,000 feet away and you have no GPS, you fly in eddy mode, and you have no perception of depth because it's so huge. It makes everything look completely different, and it is so challenging. So flying in a small, like through here, would be so much easier because you have the depth perception. But once you go beyond 300, 400 feet, it goes away. You're flying by looking at the monitor, and you have all these currents inside the cave, pushing and pulling, and you never want to get too close to the wall, but you don't know how close it is to the wall. So it's...
Did they perform brilliantly, or were there issues?
I have to say, as challenging as the environment was, it was very hot, very humid. We had fine dust in the air.
Wow.
After every flight, we were covered, the machines were covered in water droplets.
Still covered with
Still
a lot
covered,
of the, right?
Flawlessly. Really,
Wow.
we had no issues. We had sand in the motors on the Inspire. We had to cross the river several times. You set it down in the sand. Sand gets into your motor. You just blow it right out. Absolutely fantastic machines.
Very durable.
Very durable. We really were extremely happy, and we brought plenty of machines. We had on the production trip, we had 4 Inspires and 3 P3s, just in case we needed backup. And luckily, they were not needed.
Wow, that is quite a testament to the quality. That's about you can't get a better torture test than that. I don't think. Were there anything special that you learned about the abilities of the P3 and the Inspire, maybe one versus the other? Did one shine in certain circumstances?
I have to say that on the first trip I only flew the Inspire. So I was used to flying the Inspire in the cave, and then on the second trip we had the P3s, and I started flying the P3 and I was like hooked, because that was really the first time that I really got to fly the P3. That was the end of April, and so it had just gotten released, and I was just amazed at how much fun it was to fly. I love flying the Inspire. It's, the power and everything. I love it. But I got such a kick out of flying the P3.
A lot of fun.
It is.
Big bang for your buck.
Absolutely. And, the cameras performed really well. Very challenging conditions, because there are 2 areas in the cave that have about 1,000 feet above an opening in the ceiling, a dough line. So direct sunlight comes in. It's like this beam of light. And so you have high dynamic range from very, very bright to really dark. And it's sometimes really challenging to get the right settings so that you still see details in both areas. But I really have to say that the camera technology has come a long ways.
Oh, the camera's brilliant. For low light, it is fantastic, and we've done a lot of testing with this. What do you say about some of the things that you've seen in the news locally? We are hearing all the time of people violating airspace, and they're flying these drones into the path of water-dropping helicopters, for example. Do you see a good side to using these for search and rescue or anything like that?
Well, absolutely. But first of all, and this is a plea to everyone, including us. We are responsible for our actions. We are responsible to showcasing the good of this technology. There is really no reason to fly over a wildfire without the direct knowledge of the agencies involved and trying to help. If you do it outside of the scope, you are endangering everything, and including the reputation of this technology. So please be responsible about that.
Definitely.
On the flip side, this technology can and has helped first responders dramatically, and you have personal experience in that. So we have the flip coin here. We have the good and we have the not so good. Now we really, through education, can change the way we behave in the air. And I always say, because we talk a lot to media about this, and I always say, look, if you go back in time, every single moment we invented new technology, there's always a small percentage of people that misuse it. If you go look at the internet, for example, there's so many wonderful uses, and there's a small percentage that does spamming or attacking, hacking, that could possibly impact others.
It's a tool.
It is a tool. We will never be 100% only on the good, but through education, we can help and ensure that we're using the technology responsibly, and that helps to integrate it then into the existing framework.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I couldn't have said that better. Thank you all for tuning in and watching us. Please fly safe and watch the other videos, because there's a lot of information out there. And again, thanks for watching.